Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Mahindra Luka. This channel is all about how to break into data science. Today we have Bhanu Suraj with us. He is my classmate, roommate and my closest friend. So he is currently working as a data scientist at Circle K. So Suraj, why don't you take over this and give your introduction?
Hi everyone, I am Suraj. Like Mahendra said, we both did masters at ASU together, and then I have been working since then in Arizona in the US. Lots more to talk. Depends on what Mahendra is willing to know.
Perfect. Thanks for your short intro. To start with, you were a petroleum engineer, and you got transitioned into data science by doing a master's in business analytics. So, what is your motivation behind moving from such a drastic change, like from petroleum to data analytics?
Yes, so again, here I will introduce myself a little more. So I have done my undergrad in petroleum engineering from ISM Dhanbad in India. After graduating, I also worked for 2 years in the oil and gas industry. I was working for K Oil and Gas. I was a drilling engineer there, and 2 years of working in the operations in the oil and gas was completely different from the data science that I'm doing right now. So obviously that was different. The reason why I made a switch was like two-pronged. The first thing was that the industry was changing. Oil and gas didn't have much for me to grow, as opposed to just work in the company. I wanted to grow, not just work. So that was one thing, good career growth. The second thing was I had an inclination towards statistics or do some coding and all that thing. Although Kane did have some avenues or opportunities to do, but it was not like a full-fledged opportunity for me to build simulations or things like that. And I wanted to try something like that. So I came to the US, pursued masters, and then data science. Yeah.
That's a great transition, I would say, because even I'm from civil engineering background, did a transition.
Yeah, I still remember you preparing for the part-time jobs and hustling all day. It was really, I think it really helped you in your
True. Yeah. What all difficulties you faced in your job search, and how did you prove yourself?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if I were to answer this question, I think it's better if I compare with what we see in India versus what we see in the US. In India, mostly, at least what I have noticed is you see a lot of on-campus placements, and then people who don't get the job, then they keep hustling until they get the job, which will be mostly off-campus. Off-campus is a little difficult than on-campus, obviously. In the US, the market is a little different. It's opposite. You will see a lot of off-campus as opposed to on-campus placements.
True.
So that means you need to have good network, and network doesn't come on its own. So you have to keep the lookout, attend all career fairs, get in touch with your seniors from undergrad, or maybe your own seniors from ASU. Like in my case, it was ASU, or Mahindra's case, it was ASU. So things like that, get a good network. Share your resume, and also make it such that let's say you have worked in oil and gas like me, or in the in a different field. Just although you have worked in a different field, there will always be something that is related to data science or analytics per se. So you can do things like that and show that you have enough experience to stand out in the crowd and like that. Yeah.
You have 2 years of experience in non-tech background, which is quite opposite to data science. So how did you convince your recruiters that you have a valid experience for your data science?
That's a fair point, actually. It's obviously it is difficult to convince people when you are coming from a different field.
Yes.
In my case, how I did is that two things. I first showed them that I'm willing to learn, obviously, because they want to see candidates who accept that they are coming from a different field and who are willing to learn more. That is one thing. Second thing is, we are engineers. Engineers have a background in mathematics, and they are good in analytics and all that things. The only I think point or only thing that we need to cover ground on is coding a little bit. because we are hardcore engineers on the field. So that's something you need to convince, and that can be done if you have some portfolio of your own. You can show them, or you do some projects. There are professors at the university who are willing to do projects with you. If you just say, like, I'm willing to do some projects, so do with them, build your own coding profile, put it out there, and they will see. If not for your profile, they will see your portfolio.
True.
They will realize that you're a good candidate.
Those are really good points. So as we were talking about college projects, while doing your master's in business analytics,
yes,
what all things you have done on top of your coursework, which helped you in your job search, or current workplace?
Yeah. So business analytics, I remind that you also know the program was so fast paced. It was like a 9 to 10 months. It was so fast. We were like hustling and studying for 4 days, and then the remaining 3 days we were preparing for the assignments. So it was like that. And those assignments kind of built our profile and portfolio in many ways, because we were building code to solve some really good puzzles and problems. That was one thing. The second thing was working on some projects. Like I was picking up some project with a professor at ASU who was into data mining and artificial intelligence, things like that. His idea was like, let's build a model, a very powerful neural network model that can predict any phenomena and then also explain the phenomena itself.
True.
Then some out of the box projects like the blockchain. I think you were also there. Me and Mahindra, we were teammates at the time, and we worked on an idea which we had no clue about, and we were not even doing masters in that field, but we still hustled together. We formed a group, we studied day and night, and we won the competition. So that was a great achievement, and even our names were featured on the ASU magazine at the time.
Yes.
It was a really good experience. So you are free to do anything as long as you show the interest. At least the universities out here will not say like, you don't come from that background, so why are you doing this? They will not question you as long as you have the interest and the spark in your. I think that was one thing. The other thing is, every coursework you do, at the end there is a project, and that project is very important, and you have to take the initiative. You will be working as a team, but if you take the initiative and if you try to be always at the front of what needs to be done in that project, you will see that you're improving, and you have built a portfolio of your own, a really good portfolio of your own.
True. Yeah, I still remember, data mining professor gave all the assignments related to Kaggle problems. Even though we are doing assignments, it's pretty much same as doing Kaggle problems and building our profile and Kaggle. Yeah, that really helped us a lot. How does your day look like in a data scientist role when you compare with your previous, drilling engineer or in your oil and gas industry? So what are the major changes you observed in both roles?
Yeah, in any role that you work with an employer, when you work with an employer, it's mostly a mix of multiple things, right? I think you have noticed it.
Yes.
So if I were to list down the list of things that I was doing as a data scientist, it was like build code that prepares the data for you, or build models that optimize price in a particular store, or build another code that is measuring the performance of so and so thing, or brainstorm with the team what to do in the next 1 month, what we want to do, how we will gain more profits, things like that. When it comes to oil and gas, in my case, it was like prepare the risk plan for what you will do at the site, or design the well that we are going to drill. Design it such that there is no blowout, there is no loss of life or any risky activity out there. Or and then there is like, you go to the field and then supervise how the operations are going, make sure everything is HSA or health safety standards compliant and things like that. And then come back and do benchmarking analysis, check how well we have performed as opposed to the last time we drilled a well, things like that. So it is, if you notice the wording here, it's a little bit related on the outside, but the way we work is different. The way we work in data science is more like you sit at a computer and then you try to have like one or two screens, you monitor one, like Mahindra is having one screen behind him, you'll have multiple screens like that, and you will just crunch numbers. When it comes to oil and gas, it's more of operational. You walk around, you wear a gear, and then you go to office and then you observe. It's a lot of mix there and here. So yeah, that actually helped me, oil and gas and
Yeah. So Suraj, you're from petroleum background and did your bachelor's in petroleum from ISM Dhanbad. So what would you suggest to your juniors or for a person who is from your similar background and want to move into data science? So what all tips and suggestions you would provide?
In one sentence, if I were to say, it is possible to make a switch from petroleum engineering or mining background to data science. I have seen many people from my college, my seniors, my juniors, people who have worked in oil and gas for 10 years are also switching, and they don't find it difficult. Their experience is considered relevant in the industry. So that is like a good thing. Now, if I were to say about how difficult is switching, it is not very difficult. Again, if you list out the skill sets that you need to switch are like good mathematics skills, good stats, good programming skills, especially in Python. You don't need a developer style programming skills. You need decent programming skills, which is specific to Python or R programming, things like that. SQL to query the databases, and Tableau to build interesting charts, dashboards, and analyze with the team and all that. All of these things, out of these things, only two things are considered complex. One is statistics and the other is programming in Python. The more you know in programming, the better you are in data science. So statistics is already covered as part of your undergraduation or in your work. It is covered to some extent. So that is never a problem. And second thing is Python programming. Python is the easiest language and it is the most forgiving language even if you make mistakes in the code. So honestly, I think Mahindra also knows, we have done a one-day workshop to catch up to Python. It is that easy to understand Python. So no, I think it's not a challenge, not at all.
Yeah, while you're mentioning about Python, I can remember my initial days. I got to know that Python is a programming language we use for data science. I searched a lot, like what are things to learn, and also there are a lot of things in programming, right? Starts with for loops, while loops, and going to data structures and algorithms. You don't need to know all these data structures and algorithms, but you have to focus more on data frame libraries, basically. So like NumPys, Pandas, Plotly. So that is a little bit different to what programmers do. What I did was I went into data structures and algorithms and wasted a lot of time. I don't say wasted, but at that particular point, at that particular point of time, it would be good if I focused more on data frames related libraries.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So a lot of emphasis in coding when it comes to data science is around how you wrangle the data and how you build models around it. So that means you need to understand libraries in Python that are more focused on data, as opposed to developers. For developers, it's more like improving the code efficiency or computation efficiency and things like that. As a data scientist, our first step is to wrangle and play with the data, and the next step is improving the code, and that's when it's probably a good idea to learn data structures and algorithms. It should be like first data libraries and then the developer libraries.
Once you start progressing your career in data science, slowly if you want to become an ML engineer or build like great models, you have to learn data structures and algorithms. But base for any data science is working on data frame libraries, right? Going a step back, you did your master's in business analytics from Arizona State University. What is your motivation behind choosing ASU particularly? You might have got many other university admits, right?
Masters in US, unlike many other countries, it's not like a fixed time period in all the colleges. Some colleges are 24 months, some colleges are 12, 9, 10, 15, like that. My preference when I was preparing for masters was a college that gives me a program which is like less than 12 months. That was my preference because I wanted to graduate quick and get more better return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously a good college. So that was the first thing. Quick, a college that has a fast-paced program. The second
Mm-hmm.
point was for me the housing prices, the rentals around the area, because your living expenses do matter. They form a major chunk of your expenses when you come to the US.
Mm-hmm.
Third thing was um, job scenario, like how well the job market does in this area. Fourth one is university reputation. So these are the four things for me. And there were many colleges that were having really good university reputation, but were not in a very good location.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to not go there. There were very good colleges with all good things, but very long program, like 2 years program. Which I felt is not worth it. So there were many factors. So ASU was fitting really well in this. It is close to California. You can get jobs in California. You can get jobs in the Phoenix area. Phoenix area is very good to get jobs. And then on top of that, fees a little higher, but you also get scholarships if you prepare well for your GRE.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have some options like that. And then it's a fast-paced 9-month program, and you get to graduate quick. So it's good in that way.
Yep, and professors were really good.
Oh yeah, professors. Oh, about professors, I think this is a trend in any university out here that they really teach you the subject as opposed to just talk and give you notes. They really teach you and go. So I felt really good the first because I was never accustomed to this kind of teaching previously back in India. Although the professors are great, but sometimes it's like when they know too much, they don't know how to teach you the
Yes.
things, right? So
True.
they know so much, but they give you just notes and they just let you think through. But here it's like they will let you think through the class itself. They will make you think, they will make you write on the board. It is so much fun that way. So different kind of teaching here. So you
Yeah,
know that.
I still remember, we used to discuss how we learned SQL. So we used to discuss like, they have injected into our blood.
Yeah. I still remember. They were like, we will finish the entire SQL coursework in 3 months, and we could not believe it actually. And they did. They really did.
Yes.
We were doing really. We were competing in SQL code that time. I still remember my friends sitting around me. They were like, yeah, competing with each other in SQL coding. It was fun.
It was a really, it was fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
One thing that
Yep.
I personally say is when you come to make a switch and when you are in the US and you're pursuing masters, always have good friends and good roommates because they do matter. Having wrong company, there is no wrong company. Having a not so good company is not worth it. It's probably worth it to give up a few things and focus on a short program like 9-month program and just hustle through a good company with a good company. You will see the difference. After 9 months, do whatever you want. That's what I was doing when I was in masters.
True. So this question is for specifically people who are coming to ASU Masters in Business Analytics. What are suggestions you can give for their job search process? Because job is the ultimate goal for people who comes to Masters in United States. So specific to ASU, what would you suggest them?
First thing is never miss a single career fair. Never miss, whether it is just after you joined ASU or whether it's towards the end or whether after you got the job also. Never miss a single career fair at ASU. They are really good. You will form a really good network. I'm still friends with some people who work around Arizona area just through career fairs. Second thing is never miss a single assignment. Sometimes it's tempting to just take someone else's answers and just put it out there. Not worth it. You'll see you're losing a lot there. Third thing, never miss a single class, because missing a class in ASU, WPK, this master's program, it's so fast paced. If you miss a single class, you will miss everything else. It is so difficult to catch up to later on. Even if you try to study 2 hours or 3 hours later on, it's not possible. It's difficult. Fourth, thing, have good friends. And good friends, like I said, that will really help you.
True. Yes. Yeah. To add on, as you were saying about assignments, GPA doesn't matter for us in your job search. The only thing matters is your projects, your experience, and your portfolio. So even I don't suggest to just take it from others, but rather you can simply do it. Even though you can't complete it 100%, just do it 80%, which would be helpful for you.
And also I noticed that if you're transparent about what you know and what you don't know, it really helps, because the master's cohort is not like your undergrad cohort. In undergrad, you will have people of the same age, same experience, same background. But in masters, you will see people from different age groups, different experiences, different whatnot, different everything, right? So if you put yourself out there that you don't know this, people are there. There are many people who are willing to come to you and help you. So that's something. Yeah,
that's true. The oldest age in my class is some 60 or 65, I remember. And a lot of diversity in my class. Like there are people from English literature, social, politics background, many more.
I also I just to that, I think, Mahinda, you also know there are people from different nationalities too.
Yes.
Don't stick to just one country, that is our country, India. I know it's very good. It feels good to be around your own people, right? But still, try to have friends with some Americans or some Mexicans or Chinese. They're really good. They're really good. For example, I've seen a lot of Chinese. They don't talk much in the classroom, but you will see them excel in the exams.
True.
They have such a sharp mind. They're really good at studying. Although they won't ask much questions in the class, they have a language barrier sometimes, some of them, but they do really good in the exams. And I think it's worth interacting with them. Americans, they are really good at presenting. You will see them when they present something. We had this class, data-driven quality management, and one of the American teammates, when she was presenting, it was so resounding and so captivating. It makes perfect sense to be friends with everyone. You'll learn something or the other.
True, that's true. To close our discussion, the last question I would ask you is, what are things they have to do before coming to masters, pre-masters, I would say, like what are the courses? You must have done a lot of research and courses, right?
A lot of my seniors and my juniors also reached out to me with similar questions, like what do I do before I prepare? My suggestion to them was, or to anyone who wants to do such similar move, is that make a decision first. Half-baked decision will not make you happy. So make a decision. Do you want to do an MBA? Do you want to do a master's? Do you want to stay in India and do similar master's program, or come to the US? That's something you need to first decide. The second thing is, I can guarantee you already have what it takes to make a switch. If you are from petroleum engineering or any geoscience or any engineer whatsoever, or any geoscientist, for example, I just meant to say, you do have what it takes to make a switch. So don't worry about that. That I can guarantee. The third thing is, speak to people who are doing the same program in the US. A lot of people reached out to me. I am open to anyone reaching out to me, even after this call, anytime. I still do. So reach out to people and they will tell you what are the pros and cons. They will tell you which university is good for you. Let's say you want to do a two-year course. Your choices will be different. It won't be ASU. So things like that.
I link Suraj's LinkedIn profile below this video, and you are always open to reach out. Thanks a lot, Suraj, for joining today, and thanks for your great insights about your data science journey. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.